I want you to assassinate a hero in a world of swords and magic. I need it done within 18 years of your birth in that new world. Seriously, imagine hearing those exact words the literal second after you die. You were the greatest assassin on Earth, right? A guy who lived and died as basically a disposable tool for your bosses. And now, a goddess is sitting right across from you, offering you a second life. But there's a massive, seemingly impossible catch. Your target is the very person destined to save the world. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down the absolutely incredible first volume of The World's Finest Assassin Gets Reincarnated in Another World as an Aristocrat. We're going to track a seriously fascinating character journey here. As you'll see, we get to watch our protagonist, Lug, transform from this cold, lifeless tool of his past world into a fiercely human individual, a guy actually fighting for his own happiness and his chosen family in a fantasy realm. It's honestly a masterclass in strategic storytelling, and we're going to cover all the key events, the emotional growth, and the intense conflicts right here.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Part 1. A Deadly Second Chance.
The premise here is just brilliant. The hero is destined to defeat the Demon King in 16 years, sure, but then he's going to go entirely mad and completely destroy the world 2 years after that. So Lug has a strict 18-year deadline to assassinate the savior of the world. And to prep for this, Lug deliberately asks for an environment where he can push his new body to the absolute physical limit. He's born as Lug Tuatha'Dai, the eldest son of an aristocratic clan. But get this, they're medical experts who secretly double as the kingdom's absolute elite assassins. It's wild. But more importantly, he's surrounded by allies and parents, Sion and Esri, who genuinely care for him. He gains a solid foundation of real human connection that he was completely missing in his previous life. Now, right before his rebirth, the goddess actually let Lug build his new body's parameters. And honestly, this is where Lug's tactical genius truly shines through. He doesn't just pick the flashiest, most destructive S-rank combat skills. No, he carefully selects highly synergistic abilities. He grabs an S-rank rapid recovery so he can endure endless training, plus a high mana capacity, affinities for all 4 magical elements, and he even purposely selects this hidden, super obscure D-rank skill. The goddess herself actually praises his strategy here because if he had just blindly chosen raw power, he'd have literally zero chance. Why? Well, because the hero he has to kill possesses over 30 overpowered world-breaking skills. 30! Lug knows he has to outsmart this guy, not just overpower him.
Moving on to Part 2, Mastering the Magical Arts.
So, with that 18-year deadline constantly ticking away in the background, Lug throws himself into this absolutely rigorous training. But here's the kicker. He isn't just relying on your typical fantasy fireballs. Since he retained his memories and knowledge from Earth, he deeply understands modern physics, chemistry, and ballistics. And by fusing that past world's science with the new world's magic, he invents entirely new, completely devastating spells. He essentially recreates the mechanics of modern firearms, like we're talking actual sniper rifles and handguns using mana. The result? These highly efficient, low-consumption, extremely long-range magical strikes that this fantasy world has literally never seen before. It's a total game-changer.
But, raw power really isn't enough. He needs to learn the intricate mechanics of casting. And enter Daya. She's a noble lady from a foreign country and straight up one of the strongest mages in the world, who gets brought in to be Lug's mentor. She teaches him elemental conversion, guiding him through the incredibly intense physical sensation of morphing mana within his own body for the very first time. But Daya quickly becomes way more than just a teacher. She becomes this older sister figure for him. And their bond is absolutely crucial. They spend hours just inventing new spells together. For Lug, this marks the real beginning of his emotional growth. He's actually learning to genuinely value human connection, finally shedding that cold, robotic isolation of his past life.
All right, let's look at Part 3, Building an Information Empire.
Listen, an assassin cannot operate blind, and they sure can't operate broke. To track a target as elusive and ridiculously powerful as the hero Lug adopts the merchant alias Ilig Balor and executes a flawless business strategy. It's a 4-step master plan. Step 1. He partners with the massive Balor company in the commercial city of Miltu. Step 2. He uses his Earth knowledge to develop revolutionary cosmetics which, by the way, become an instant, wildly profitable sensation among the nobility. Step 3. He uses all those profits to establish a massive, hidden global spy network. And finally, Step 4. He staffs this network by rescuing orphans from terrible conditions. He provides them with food, shelter, and purpose, ensuring he has fiercely loyal personnel running the show, like his absolutely brilliant proxy representative, Maha.
This whole setup is so incredibly effective that the head of the Balor company is just blown away, telling Lug you couldn't be more gifted as a merchant. Which highlights something super important. Lug isn't just a killer hiding in the shadows anymore. He is actively manipulating the entire global economy. He's using this vast wealth and his orphan spy network to track the hero's potential locations and to hunt down divine treasures he absolutely needs for the assassination. He literally built an entire business empire solely to support a single hit. How crazy is that?
Things get really intense in Part 4, The Rescue and the Monster.
So right while Lu is building his empire, a massive conflict erupts. Dia's father actually loses a civil war in his home country. And because of her incredible beauty and immensely powerful mana, Dia suddenly becomes a prime target for these greedy, power-hungry nobles looking to breed powerful heirs. This forces a massive, high-risk intervention. Lu flat out states, "I resolve to kill anyone who tried to steal Dia away." There was no time for regret. Just pause and think about that shift. He is no longer blindly following a contract. For the very first time in either of his lives, Lu is violently, passionately fighting to protect someone he truly loves.
Now, to actually rescue Dia, Lug has to infiltrate the enemy's siege, and there he comes face to face with Setanta. This guy is a terrifying monster of a man. Setanta wields this massive two-handed spear and utilizes the S-rank skill Berserk. This skill literally swells his muscles, gives his eyes an unnatural glow, and makes him look like an actual demon. The sheer fighting spirit rolling off Setanta is supposedly enough to end battles through intimidation alone.
Faced with that kind of overwhelming raw power, Lug has to rely on his ultimate fusion of science and magic. He executes a spell called Cannon Strike. He rapidly converts mana into fire to create an explosion, combines that with wind mana for directional force, and then uses earth mana to form a tight cluster of iron scraps. He effectively creates a high-speed explosive warhead, launching these iron bullets at terrifying velocities straight into Setanta. It is this spectacular, high-octane display of literally everything Lug has learned up to this point, absolutely proving his tactical superiority over sheer brute strength.
And finally, Part 5, the hero finally appears.
Following that insane, chaotic battle, Lug knows Dia will never truly be safe, as long as the world thinks the powerful noble daughter of Viacone is still alive. So, utilizing the chaos of the battlefield, Lug fakes Dia's death, allowing her to slip away into a brand new life right under his protection. Standing there resolute alongside Dia, Maha, and his fiercely loyal retainer Tart, Lug has fully completed his transition. He's gone from a solitary, unfeeling weapon into a true leader who protects his chosen family. He's got the skills, the money, the intelligence network, and the team.
But just as he secures this brief, hard-fought moment of victory, reality crashes down hard. His father, Cian, delivers this stark, totally ominous warning. "We received word that the hero has appeared. He is a young man born here in Alvanen. The appearance of the hero signals that monsters will rise, demons are going to be reborn, and the countdown to the end of the world. And Lug's ultimate, supposedly impossible assassination mission has officially begun."
So what does this all mean? It leaves us with one burning question. Lug has acquired the perfect synergistic skills, he's built an unstoppable information empire, and gathered a fiercely loyal team of allies. But is he truly ready to face down a world-saving hero who possesses over 30 overpowered skills? Can a master of strategy actually assassinate the literal savior of the world? You are definitely going to have to find out in Volume 2. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.
Plot capsule.